You're watching the 2024 SCAC Men's and Women's Track and Field Media Days. Today, we're taking a look at the Trinity University Tigers Men's and Women's Track and Field programs. Tigers will once again be led as they head into the season under the guidance of head coach Marcus Whitehead, along with leadership from seniors Justin Johnson and Danya Selber. Coach Justin, Danya, thanks so much for joining us today.
Yes, thanks for having us.
Coach, we'll open up with you heading into your 12th season as the head coach of these two programs. I'm interested just what you've grown to love about the space that you occupy there at Trinity as the head coach of these two programs.
Yeah, well, I mean, the biggest thing that is the biggest draw to Trinity and just this institution in general is the student athletes I get to work with are awesome. It's a really responsible group. It's a fun group to be around. And they're really personable. It's kind of an outgoing personality kind of group in general, and they make this easy. They enjoy the sport. They're passionate about it, but they're also not too uptight. They want to kind of have fun and enjoy practice and things like that. They don't argue, complain about too much when the workouts get hard, and it's a group that I just think about, like, if I were a student athlete, I would have what I would have wanted to be on this team. And yeah, that's the answer. Like, I just would have, it's just a really fun group to be around. So sorry to recruit myself.
Justin, as you ramp up to head into this senior season, I'm interested just kind of in your mindset coming into this year. A lot of success over those first 3 years of your career there, but now kind of coming into this final stretch of your collegiate track and field career. What is there a sense of urgency from you, and how excited are you to get back and get underway with this group?
Yeah, definitely. It's been a kind of now or never mentality, because the last 3 years, I've fallen a little short qualifying for nationals. So I'm really locked in on that this year, trying to get those qualifying marks individually and on relay teams.
Danya, last season earning your third career individual All-SCAC honor, finishing in the top three in the 200, your second All-SCAC honor in the 200, also earning one in the 100 as well. What does the season like last year, getting back to the podium at the SCAC championships, do in terms of your confidence, and what have you continued to work on individually throughout the course of the off season through the fall to get prepared for the senior year?
Yeah, I think getting up on that podium, it really does raise your confidence a ton, and you want to make sure that you get back there every year. And for me, that's going to be PRing, that's going to be working on endurance, that's going to be just being out of practice every day, working real hard. And I started up hurdling last year. So that's another really big thing that I'm focusing on this semester. I'm aiming for that school record this year. So that's a really big thing I'm working on.
Coach, you talk about the excitement that you have working with this group. What is the thing that you enjoy most as far as just trying to balance all of the unique skill sets and talents? Track and field obviously coming together in the end with that big team component, but it takes a lot of different individual skills. What have you grown to enjoy the most about that, and how have you found ways to help working with that balance throughout your time there at Trinity?
Yeah, I mean, I like to see their personal growth, and we do a lot of goal setting with the team, and they, like these two specifically, have pretty lofty goals that I think are well attainable. So that kind of keeps you driving as a coach. Is like you see people that are working hard and setting goals for themselves, and you just want to do anything you can to help them get there.
Justin, you're coming off an outstanding junior season in which you're named SCAC Athlete of the Meet, a 9-time All-SCAC performer in your career, including 5 golds, 2 more last year during your junior season in both the 400-meter hurdles and the triple jump. What have you continued to work on? You're talking about trying to zero in and qualify for that national competition. What are some things that you've continued to fine-tune, and how has your confidence continued to grow throughout your career heading into this season?
Yeah, winning last year definitely instilled a lot of confidence in myself, knowing I'm capable of these big marks. And over the course of the last semester and going into this one, really working on my endurance and my speed and my just intellect. Running the 400 hurdles is a very strategic race, and so just building up my confidence running that.
Danya, I'm kind of interested in what you love most about the sport of track and field. To me, I think one of the cool things is it is always best on best, right? When you line up, it's the best, athlete at that time in that moment that gets the glory and writes the story. So for you, what have you, grown and loved to enjoy most about track and field? And is that something that you've enjoyed just in terms of a mindset every day in and day out?
Yeah, I played soccer in high school, so I know what it's like working with a team dynamic, and something coming into track and field, it's very individual. But at the same time, we have built a ton of culture on our team and we're all very, very close. But at the end of the day, I mean, what's great about track is no one can tell you if you're good or not. The numbers really show for themselves. So it's really great that you can see your progress and your commitment on paper, and you can see that you working toward a goal, it can be proved through those numbers, you know. And it's a tough mindset, you know, going up one-on-one. It's, you can't blame anyone but yourself when you do well and when you don't do well. So it's very rewarding when you do make those marks.
Coach, you welcome in a big group of incoming first years to these two teams. I think nearly 30, 27 in all. So when you bring in a big group like that, what are some things that you really try to have them focus on early as they get adjusted, things that you hope they understand early in their careers that you think will make a difference and allow them to make an impact within these two teams early on in their careers?
Yeah, I mean, it's important having senior leadership whenever you bring in a large group, because yeah, you know, we've got a little bit of time when they come here and when they can actually start doing workouts with the track coaches. You know, we can lift a little bit earlier once they get their physical, those sorts of things, but that's not the same necessarily as track. So it's really important that we've got a culture of just kind of openness, welcomeness to the new faces, because every single one of those student athletes is, they may say this is easy or this is normal for us. It really isn't, because this is the first time most of them have been on their own, and you know, having a roommate that they don't really quite know. There's just a lot of changes in their life at that point. So if we can kind of be the one consistent thing for them until academics and all that stuff kind of settle down for them, that really helps. So, you know, we tell all the incoming first years, is like, you're going to know, you're going to have resources on campus with these older athletes, like Justin and Danya, who can kind of show you the ropes, you know, help you out with some of your study habits, setting a schedule. And honest, we really have upperclassmen doing that for our younger kids. And, you know, making sure they're like socially not kind of being like kind of left out of the loop. So it's a lot of just, it's, you know, it's, while it is a competitive environment with this team, it's not necessarily competitive in the sense that we're not a team. And we are an individual sport, but we truly are a team in the sense that we look out for each other, and we've got each other's backs, and we, you know, we make sure everyone feels like they're welcome out here. So it's a lot of it just depends on what kind of upperclassmen you have, and we've got a great group right now. We have had for several years, so I feel good that anyone who comes in the fold with us is kind of being taken care of right away.
Finally, as we wrap up with the two student athletes, the two of you both have a really unique opportunity, you know, on the horizon, and with the chance to close out your careers as four-time team SCAC champions. So when you have conversations with some of your other teammates and leaders within your teams about some of the goals and expectations coming into this year, what have those conversations looked like, and ultimately what's going to be key in order to accomplishing those heading into the season?
Yeah, so pretty much every week we like gather around and I just tell them we need to focus on the bigger picture, going for that 4 times in a row winning conference. And so telling each other we need to push each other to be our best at practice through all of these tough workouts, and just really taking care of each other, and just knowing that we can do this if we work together and push each other to be our best every day.
I think it's really important to kind of let them know that if they have a bad day at practice or even a bad week, you know, that's not necessarily going to reflect at the meets or even at the end of the semester. And it's really important to be positive with yourself and to know that, you know, if you have a bad day, that doesn't mean the end of the world, you know, and to really, really push with that and build your own self-confidence. You know, we don't have anyone on the track running any type of drill without at least 1 or 2 people screaming for their name and clapping, even at practice. So I think really building confidence within the team and for everyone, especially our younger athletes, will really reflect, and hopefully they can bring that on to the next couple of years here at Trinity.
In closing out with Coach, you know, obviously success in our arena can be measured in so many different ways, and the results are certainly one aspect of it. But when you talk about success with your two programs, how do you try and discuss success within these teams, and, you know, kind of ultimately 2024 looks successful with what plays out over the next couple of months for these two groups?
Yeah, I mean, that's the kind of the unique thing about this sport is we do goal setting and things like that. And, you know, as a team, obviously we want to win the SCAC title. I mean, I think that's kind of the expectation coming in every year. And beyond that, like these two athletes, they've got goals nationally. And that's something that we're trying to grow also, and trying to have more of a national presence. So, you know, but for a lot of our student athletes, it could be the difference of like making the conference roster, or it could be, how do I finish in the top 8 so I score points to help us out, or how can I get on the podium and get a medal. So there's like various levels of this, and you know, we try to identify that fairly early and put that in people's heads, like, hey, this is something I think you can do, so let's go for it. And most of the time I don't really have to tell them that. Like, we've got pretty driven student athletes here, so they've got things like, whether it's a school record or whatever, and these things are all important to us. And the thing is, like, we set these goals, and you know, we shoot for them, and we do everything inside of track and outside of track to kind of get there. Well, then good things kind of happen conference wise and nationally. And you know, we've got great resources here, an amazing coaching staff, and we feel confident that, you know, we can help people get as you know, we feel like we can you know, get people to, you know, basically scrape their head on the ceiling of their biological limit. That's kind of what we're trying to do. So
Trinity University men's and women's track and field programs. The Tigers once again will be led as they head into the season with guidance head coach Marcus Whitehead, along with leadership from seniors Justin Johnson and Danya Selber. Coach Danya, Justin, thanks so much for joining us today, and best of luck as you head out throughout the rest of the year.
thanks for having us.
Thank you.